That's because Joe complains. Doesn't he?
Look, Joe, we're both wearing 2 different shirts.
I'm wearing a new shirt. And this is hashtag just saying. Hashtag new shirts.
Yeah.
I can hear him now. I wasn't complaining. Shut up. Oh my goodness.
Joe.
My goodness. So this is another like one of those weeks where it's like I try to decide if I'm going to tell.
I spy with my little eye.
With all 4 of my eyes. If I'm going to tell a story because it doesn't paint me in a bad light at all. But it would make somebody very upset, but maybe I'll do it anyway. So, this past Saturday was my dad's 75th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Party. His birthday was actually the 13th. My mom threw a party for him on Saturday. It was crazy. And it's not like it was crazy in the sense that like there was a million people there. There was actually some people... Actually. There was actually some people I had not seen in years. Or at all. Years or at all. Yes.
Mom, who is that?
No. You know what's funny is I was sitting at the table and my sister's daughter, my niece, was behind me in a chair, and my dad's cousin came all the way from like upstate Pennsylvania.
Upstate?
And I know, upstate, my favorite. And I've never met her before in my life. But my grandmother, who was her aunt, used to talk about her. And my dad hasn't seen her in like 40 years. So it was funny because like she showed up and I was like, oh my God, hey. And she knew me because we're Facebook friends. So she recognized me instantly. She's like, oh, Tara, I know you. And I was like, yes, I am. And my niece taps me on the shoulder and goes, who is that? I said, it's my dad's cousin. She said, he has cousins? I said, yes, he does. He doesn't have a very big family, so. But anyway, I was not drinking. I was sober.
Why?
I was sober living.
Have a drink.
I had to drive, 1.
Okay, never mind.
And 2, the opportunity just never arose itself. I had thought to drink, and then I had thought about it, and then I was like, nah.
I'll wait till the show.
No, I mean, I didn't. But here's the thing. A lot of other people were drinking. So, my brother got bombed. And they left, I don't know, somewhere around 9:30. Now, here's the part.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. Now, here's the part, right? As we were sitting at the table, now at this point in the evening, it's late. And it is me, my sister, her husband, my mom, and my dad. And everybody else had left. So it was just us. Mm-hmm. And so my dad is starting to like nod off, right? He's doing that old guy thing where he's like, he's like falling asleep at the table. So I'm like, Dad, maybe you should like go to bed. And he's like, yeah. So my mom like kind of like pats his arm and she's like, oh, you need bedtime. So he's like, yeah. So he like puts his hand on the chair and then immediately goes, oh, this ain't gonna be good. And I'm like, how come? And he goes, it's not. I said, okay. My dad's very like, he can sit there all day and not talk to you. And it doesn't mean he doesn't like you. It just means like, that's just how he is. He prefers to listen to the conversation than partake of the conversation. Mm-hmm. So, he had been sitting there this whole time and we were just like, oh, he's just listening. Yeah, he was fucking zoned out. He was like passed out, right? Mm-hmm. So, and my dad is also very, very funny when he's drunk.
I bet.
Because he's normally very quiet, so when he's drunk he gets chatty. Right? And he chats about weird shit. So I pulled my brother-in-law aside and I said, listen, he's 75 now. I was like, I know he's fallen before. I was like, so why don't we help him? And he goes, I get it. I'll help him. He's like, so he goes over to my dad and he's like, hey, Bob, you're going to put your arm around my neck and then we're all going to stand up. And my dad's like, why? He's like, well, you got to go to bed. And he's like, oh, I don't want to. So he puts his arm around and then they stand up together. My dad's wobbly as fuck. He's like, meow, meow. So he walks over. We have like a sliding glass door. And he walks over to the door and he puts his hand on the door. And then he's like, yup. And I said, well, you making sure the door was still there? And he goes, it is. And I said, okay.
After you probably burst out laughing.
Oh, I'm dying.
This
gets so much worse.
Good.
So, right next to the door on the wall is a light switch. It's low, it's child height, so every single child growing up in my house has always gone over and flicked the switch. So he walks over and the outside light it's a light switch that controls the outside lights to the backyard. So my dad walks over, it was on. So my dad walks over and he's trying to shut it off, but he's missing it. So he's like hitting the wall. He's like, yeah. So my
it keeps getting away from me.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law gets frustrated, like, okay. And then he goes, what do you want to do? You want me to shut the light off? So he shuts the light off. My dad immediately reaches over and pops the light back on. And I went, oh, now you hit the light switch. And then he looks at me and he goes, Bob, what do you want? Do you want the light on? Do you want the light off? And he's like, can we just deal with the light later? And my dad's like, no. And then he looks at me and he goes, the switch isn't moving. And I said, it's not supposed to move, Dad.
Give me my drill.
And he's like, I don't know. So, Jesus. So we get him down to the end of the hall. Well, my brother-in-law did. I didn't really help. I was standing back. I was dying laughing. I'm like way in the back, just cracking up. So, so we get him to the bed, right? And I'm thinking, what's going to happen here? Is he going to sleep in his clothes? Or is he going to get undressed? I'm like, if he gets undressed, I got to go. Right? Because I'm older. I don't need to be dealing with that. So my dad's sitting on the end of the bed. And he's just kind of sitting there. And my brother-in-law goes, all right, Bob. He's like, you should probably get your head near the pillow. Because my dad's way at the end of the bed. So my brother-in-law hooks his arm around my dad and starts to pull him. Starts to pull him backwards. My dad. This is so fucking funny. My dad's feet start doing this. He starts wagging his feet. And he goes, I don't want to go. Oh my God. This is how bad I was laughing. I was crying so hard. And my sister's crying, laughing. And Jay is sitting there and he's like, what's going on with your dad? Like, he's drunk. He's like, I've never seen him drunk. I'm like, welcome to the world. So he didn't want to lay down at all. And then my mother's like, Bob, you have to lay down. And he's like, I wanna. So he then decides that he's going to take his socks off. So he goes down and he's like, shoes, socks off. And my brother-in-law's like, why do we need that happening? And he's like, well, seems like the thing to do. And I'm like, okay. So then he starts like to try and take his shirt off. And my brother-in-law goes, nuh-uh. If he's stripping, I'm leaving. He's like, you guys are on your own to get him into bed. I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. He's like, I don't know. So, we finally get him, like, situated, and we get him. He didn't want to, like, be dragged to the end of the bed. So my brother-in-law was like, all right, stand up. I'll walk you to the bed, and then you can sit down and lay down. So he did that. So then my brother-in-law puts the covers over him, and he's got the covers, like, up to his chin like this. And then he looks up, and he looks right at me, and he goes, hey. And I said, what? And he goes, I don't want to see this shit on YouTube. I'm not filming, but I should have been. He goes, yeah, I don't want to see it. He goes, I don't want to be looking. I was like, would you know to look YouTube? Oh, I'll find it. He'll find it. Jesus.
Only if you were filming.
I wished I was. Because shit got crazy.
Oh.
He was so funny. With his little feet doing this. He's like, I don't want to go.
You can't make me.
But you must go to bed. The next day, my nephew and his wife had decided to throw a party for their 3-year-old girl. You know how hot it was Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
It was like 100 degrees. So I was sitting outside for this birthday party, and I'm melting. And I look at my sister, and I'm like, I can't stay here long. I was like, I'm going to have to go sit in my car for AC or something. And she goes, you know what would be good? Ice. And I said, yeah, ice would be good. So she runs away, comes back with a big cup of ice, plops it in front of me, and goes, here you go. Put it down your shirt. I said, I don't think I'm going to put it down my shirt, but I will enjoy it. Thus my afternoon of like caressing myself with ice to try to cool my body down before I passed out from heat exposure. It was a rough day. It was really a rough weekend. My dad was drinking water that day. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, you switched to water, huh? He goes, I gotta give my body time to fucking come back. I said, well, at least you know. Jeez. Oof.
Wish I saw all that.
Oh, man. Well, YouTube almost saw it. I should have. I was like laughing so hard. I'm like, man, I should record it. But like he even did like the index finger up at me. Hey, I don't want to see this on YouTube. I'm like, I wasn't gonna.
I wish I was.
But I will now. The next day, actually at the birthday party, I was talking to him. He remembered nothing. I said, you know, you were fucking with the light switch for like 10 minutes? No, I wasn't. Yeah, you were complaining
I wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah, you were complaining it wouldn't move. Well, I don't recall that. Yeah, it happened.
See? You need to film it.
No, I should have. But anyway. So, I know. So do you watch the American Horror Story show a little bit? You don't watch it at all? Oh, I'm actually kind of excited about the season coming up because it takes place in the 80s. It's called like 1984 or something.
Yay!
Now, I've only seen like 2 seasons.
The year Ghostbusters came out.
Okay. Now, I've only seen like 2 seasons. So, the other night I was sitting there and I said to Jay, I said, we should watch more of them so that we're all like familiar with all the shit. So we started with the first one, which was like, it's called like Murder House or whatever. I know this is so old. It's like 5 years old already. What do you want from me? But we started watching, I'm like, this is really fucked up. It was fucked up.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. They are fucked up. Sorry. But, I'm trying to think. No, I mean, it's a slow news week. Except Sony fucking up the deal with Spider-Man. Sony and Disney...
I've been off all week, so I haven't been able to look anything up.
Sony and Disney had a contract for Spider-Man. And Sony was kind of like letting Disney use it. And now they have decided that it's all over like production credits and shit. It's like over stupid petty shit. But they're like, yeah, you can't use Spider-Man anymore. So that's going to completely like change how Marvel deals with shit going forward. Unless they hash out a deal. I know. Sean's like shaking his head. I don't know. But
Can't we all just get along?
no, we can't. It's money. I mean, Sony shouldn't be bitching because Marvel, that last Spider-Man made $1 billion. Wouldn't have made that if Sony had control of it. Boom. Anyway, enough of my complaining. So what have you here? What is this? What is this? What's happening?
With the way a lot of movies are getting remade lately,
Yep.
I came across a list that was put together, not by me. Not me, but someone else.
Oh, okay.
Of the worst movie remakes made.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.
1999, House on Haunted Hill.
Okay. Was that originally Vincent Price?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice classic one.
I've never seen it, but I know of it. So.
Yeah.
Sean's like, yeah,
I got it somewhere.
Do you have it really?
Yep, the Vincent Price one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I think somewhere I actually have this, but I didn't get it. It was given to me.
Okay.
Yeah, see? The reason. Worst remake. Yeah, you can have it. Oh, thanks. The original starring horror legend Vincent Price, House on Haunted Hill,
Yeah.
considered a glorious campy thrill ride.
Ooh, campy.
By contrast, critics found the 1999 remake a joyless exercise in generic jump scares and R-rated gore. Both versions feature a classic premise in which a man promises a group of strangers a small fortune should they make it through the night in a supposed haunted house.
That's like the fucking plot of a million different things.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. It's like they've reused that plot a million times.
Yep, just keep changing a few things here and there. And
I get the inheritance if I spend the night in the house.
I haven't seen this, but 2005's Dark Water.
I've never heard of that.
Hollywood was in the middle of a Japanese horror film craze. Enter this remake about a mother and daughter who square off against a vengeful ghost inside a rundown apartment building. As in the original, which was based on a short story, the ghost frequently manifests itself by way of leaky water.
Ew!
Yeah, that's weird.
That's gross.
I never heard of that.
Me neither. I disapprove.
So, moving on. 2009's remake of Friday the 13th.
In 2009?
Yeah. The guy that played Jason Voorhees,
Yeah.
his name is Derek Mears.
Oh, okay.
Tall, skinny guy, but
Tall, skinny guy.
he's very nice to meet.
Okay.
He's a cool guy. Despite lackluster reviews, the 1980s slasher flick Friday the 13th spawned an iconic and seamlessly endless franchise. In 2009, Hollywood tried to start things all over again with this reboot. Unlike the original, which didn't actually feature Jason Voorhees as the killer, the newer version unleashed the hockey mask maniac upon a group of unwillingly campers. Okay.
That's right, it was his mama.
In the original first one, yeah.
Yeah. Hang on one sec. I'm so sorry. That's, you know. Yes.
1996, The Nutty Professor.
Oh, the Eddie Murphy piece of shit?
Yeah.
God, that was when his career just started going, yeah.
Yeah.
He did all these weird...
Disney shit.
Yeah, he did all these weird Disney things.
Yeah, that's because around that time he was having kids and that just kind of toned him down.
Well, that'll learn you.
Probably explains why Beverly Hills Cop 4 hasn't been done yet. Well, it's been in works for like 4 years. Jerry Lewis struck comedy gold with the original Nutty Professor about the nerdy scientist who becomes the suave lady killer with help from a powerful potion. That makes me think of the later episodes of Family Matters when Steve Urkel comes up with this potion to make him Stefan.
Ha! Stefan!
The only way he can get Laura is by turning himself into Stefan. Then she likes him.
Well, that should tell you something, Steven.
Yep. Laura's a bitch. Eddie Murphy tackled the lead role 3 decades later, swapping Lewis's dweeby Julius Kelp for a overweight professor named Sherman Klump. IMDb voters might not look too kindly upon the remake, but it was a major hit in its day.
It was?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit.
Me neither.
Trying to think here.
Don't think.
Some of these I never heard of and probably shouldn't even talk about.
Okay.
We'll do The Omen, 2006.
Ah.
which is a horror classic from 1976.
Mm-hmm.
But American Ambassador, whose adopted son might very well be the Antichrist. The 2006 remake is faithful to the original plot that most critics couldn't understand why it was made at all.
Right. Sometimes it's just like they redo it and it's almost a shot-for-shot remake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what's the point? If I wanted this, I could just watch the original thing.
Yeah. Something exactly like that is on this list.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell it is.
You'll find it when you're not looking for it.
It's 2 pages away.
Okay.
The Out of Towners, 1999. Award-winning playwright Neil Simon penned the original script for the 1970s Out of Towners, about an Ohio couple who encounter a range of misadventures while visiting New York. This 1999 remake puts stars Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn through the ringer as they likewise struggle through their trip to the Big Apple. The film bombed at the box office and earned a lashing from the critics. Well, that's guaranteed to happen.
The problem is that you can't buy Steve Martin being married to Goldie Hawn. Like,
True.
How did this marriage happen? And why does it exist?
It's in the script.
Exactly. The only way that would happen.
The Wiz, 1978. It's one of the most iconic films of its time. 1939's Wizard of Oz paved the way for numerous sequels, spin-offs, and reimaginings. Among the following is this musical version from 1978, which stars a slew of big names from the world of R&B, like Diana Ross, Michael Jackson. While the movie famously underperformed upon its initial release, it's also considered something of a cult classic. 2014's Annie.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Why? First of all, I've never seen the original. The only reason I would even sit to watch the original is because Tim Curry's in it. Tim Curry. And I don't know why it was necessary at all.
A once popular comic strip called Little Orphan Annie has produced a slew of adaptations, including this 2014 musical. In the film, a young girl from a foster care system falls under the care of a wealthy businessman, Jamie Foxx. Previous adaptations take place during the Depression era, but this one uses modern-day New York as its backdrop.
Everybody uses New York.
Yeah, poor New York.
But they film in Toronto and just say it's New York.
Yep.
This is Toronto. Or New York.
Or is it?
You be the judge.
Where are we? You don't know. I don't know.
Third base!
2005's House of Wax. 1933 film called Mystery of the Wax Museum was reimagined in 55 as a horror classic starring Vincent Price. Loosely adapted in the 55 version, this 2005 remake finds 6 friends fighting for survival inside a wax museum. One of those friends is played by a famous solicitor and reality star Paris Hilton.
Ugh.
And things only get worse from there.
She died first?
I haven't seen it in years.
Gosh.
Hopefully.
I shouldn't say that. No one's heard from her in a long time.
Right. True.
Yeah, it's a reason. When you become famous for nothing, you go away quicker.
2017's Flatliners.
Again, why?
Joel Schumacher's original Flatliners is about a group of medical students who experiment with death. They received mixed reviews but pulled in a respectable box office haul. 2017 remake of an absolute snooze fest by comparison.
Snooze fest!
According to both critics and audiences, it bombed in its first week and has been since forgotten. 1997's Flubber.
No, another piece of shit. Although this was Robin Williams, I think.
Movie legend John Hughes co-wrote the script for this remake in 1961's The Absent-Minded Professor. Stars Robin Williams as Professor Philip Brainard, who discovers a strange gravity-defying substance known as flubber. Both films were big hits for Disney Studios, though the remake is generally considered a senseless misfire.
Yes! Pointless.
Yes. Now, when you were saying about some shooting shot for shot,
yes,
why bother?
Yes.
Well, here it is.
Like to hit, here goes.
Nightmare on Elm Street, 2010.
Okay.
Because there is at least 3 scenes in the movie exactly identical to the original first Elm Street movie from '84.
Man, and that just shows no imagination.
No.
It's
And
like...
even on the Elm Street documentary, some of the directors and casts
Yeah.
say the same thing.
Yeah. It's like, why
The
bother?
famous shot of Nancy sitting in the bathtub and the claws coming out between her legs. They did the exact same shot the same
First
view.
of all, ow. Secondly, what?
Thanks to its creative premises and unforgettable villain, Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street helped redefine the horror genre upon its '84 release. The graphic exploits of Freddy Krueger would ultimately spawn merchandise, a video game, hit song, TV series, and a number of sequels. But Jackie Earle Haley tackled the role as Krueger in this 2010 reboot, a movie straight out of most critics' worst nightmares.
They want to do another one, and I know Kevin Bacon wants to do it.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
Me neither, but anytime you're gonna try to do it, I'll go see it.
Sean's like, whatever you got, I'm on board. Yeah.
2011's Conan the Barbarian,
Oh.
directed by John Milius and co-written by Oliver Stone. The original Conan the Barbarian was an ultraviolet fantasy film that helped turn Schwarzenegger into a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I thought it was bodybuilding.
Well, not a movie star if you're a bodybuilder.
It was followed by a sequel and then this remake in 2011, which featured Jason Momoa, M-O-M-O-A.
Oh, God, Momoa?
Yeah.
Oh, God, ladies love him.
In the title.
Get it right, because the ladies love him. Holy crap.
The remake bombed the box office and killed any franchise potential dead in its tracks.
Because it's a weak franchise. Nobody wants to see that.
Just like this one, 2015's Poltergeist.
I was just talking about that the other day. I was just talking about that because Jay's never seen Poltergeist, the first one. And we were talking about something. Oh, matter of fact, it was the American Horror Story thing. Because I hope they all die. And Jay's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, I have no sympathy for any of these characters. And I said, it's like the Poltergeist movie. And he remake. And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, in the first movie, Craig T. Nelson, I was like, yeah, he's kind of a jerk. Well, not really. I was like, but you actually feel sorry when things start happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, man, that poor kid with the clown. Oh, shit. In the remake, I was hoping they were all going to get sucked into a vortex or something. I'm like, I hope they all die. They're all jerks. The dad, the mom, the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. The entire family was shit. It's just how I feel. Hashtag how I feel.
While the debut has to who actually directed the original Poltergeist rages on,
Mm-hmm.
its status as a horror classic remains steady. The same cannot be said for the remake, which in which a suburban family is once again haunted by evil spirits.
It's a turd.
Mm-hmm.
It's a turd. Don't watch it.
You can't polish a turd either.
No, you can't. Just sucks.
Ooh, I'm gonna jump to this one.
Whatever you want to do.
1998 Psycho.
Psycho with, I can see his face. Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh.
That boring piece of shit.
He looks, you know what? Vince Vaughn looks confused. Like, he looks confused that why he's even in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, I'm in a movie? Really? Like, he doesn't know what to do with himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't been in anything in a long time.
No, thank goodness.
Thank
Someone
goodness.
heard of those shows.
Yes.
And bitch.
Yeah.
As most people can attest, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is arguably the most influential slasher film ever made. Director Gus Van Sant was such a fan that he helmed for a shot-for-shot remake starring Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates.
Shot for shot.
Yep.
Why bother? You can watch the original.
It doesn't have the best reputation. Yeah, no shit.
because people want to see something different. Reimagine it. Do something fresh with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do the same fucking thing.
I'm going to end with this one.
I'm not impressed.
2004's Taxi.
Taxi?
It had Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon.
That's a remake?
Yep.
I am surprised.
Taxi, in which a cab driver and police inspector chase down bank robbers, and this 2004 remake sets the story in New York and pairs Queen Latifah with Jimmy Fallon. In the words of film cricket?
Film crickets.
Roger Ebert, the movie only, quote, gets worse as it plows along.
Yikes. That seems fair.
Yeah.
That seems fair. Okay. Well, we forgot to tell you at the front of the show, we filmed the first 20 or 30 and posted up on YouTube, so if you want to watch the video of us being idiots, you can certainly do that. For the YouTube folk, if you want to catch the entire show, you can stream it on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Play, among other places. For this episode, you're definitely going to want to go check the audio because Sean doesn't know this, but I'm about to put him on the spot.
Oh boy.
Yes. Don't worry, it'll be fun.
Yay. I like fun.
Yes, fun is good. So we're going to do that. Thank you for joining. Oh, whoa. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. Scarecrow, I will miss you most of all.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
Fuck you.
I won't. You're a jerk, frankly. Dorothy, you bitch.
Yes, you are, bitch.
We'll see you next time. Sean's got something to tell you. Tell him, Sean.
Have a good everything.
I try.
And whatever remake comes out, pick the good ones.
Yeah.
If there is any.
There won't be.
No.